Hey there, delightful makers. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to make a drunkard's path block. So the drunkard's path block consists of 4 quarter circle units. So we are going to be making 4 quarter circle units and then putting them together in order to create this block. When we get to the point of assembling the block, I will actually show you multiple different ways you can turn your quarter circles to create a variety of different patterns. This is a really fun block, but we are practicing our curves this time. So get ready, you've got this, and let's get started. The first step for your drunkard's path block will be to cut out the templates. I already have my templates cut out of my cardboard. I used Cheerios box for my templates this time. And so you can use any kind of thin-ish cardboard for your templates, or you can use template plastic. If you need more details on how to trace and cut out template pieces, they can be found in my Phoenix tutorial. I will link that in the description below, so you can go to that tutorial and find how to create your templates. So I'm going to make the templates for this piece first. And the nice thing about templates is you can easily pull and use scraps. Now this is the right side of the template and this is the wrong side of the template. So I'm going to lay the template down with the wrong side up and the fabric with the wrong side up. And then I'm just using a water-soluble pen and I'm just going to trace along the edges of my template. And then I will cut out on those lines. You need 4 of the circles, and you will need 4 of the piece with the inverse circle. Now I have already cut out my pieces for my drunkard's path. I actually used my AccuQuilt, which was way faster and easier than having to trace and cut out all the template pieces. It's a cutter that I don't use very often, and I really should break it out more often because it is super handy for cutting template pieces for specific blocks. And they have a die for a drunkard's path. So this is what the die looks like on the back. So it is an AccuQuilt Go. And this is what it looks like for the die. So you simply put your fabric on and then it rolls through the cutter and it cuts all the pieces. There are little blades inside of here. And you can cut out, I don't know, up to 6 pieces of fabric, I believe, at a time. Again, I don't use this nearly often enough, but I did use it for this project. And I wanted to admit that so that you would know why my drunkard's path cuts look so pristine and perfect. It is because I used this die cut and I did not hand cut all of these with my scissors. So the first step for your drunkard's path is you are basically putting your pieces together like this, because you want the rounded part of the circle to go into the inverted circle here. And the template has these little notches to help. If you don't have the notches, this is where you will fold this in half. And then you fold this in half. And then you line up those 2 lines. And you will pin where those 2 lines intersect, or where those 2 lines line up. So there's this line from that fold, there's that line. They are lined up, and then you line up that edge. But with these little notches, we're just going to line up those notches. and we're putting the right sides together. So the right side of my pink is matching the right side of my blue. Actually, I missed a step. Before we do any of that, we're going to take some very sharp scissors and we're going to cut some tiny little notches along this curve. And by tiny, I mean less than 1/8 of an inch, just enough to help pull it straight. See how that's straight now? And if it's still struggling, then you can add a couple more. You don't want to do too many. All right, because we're gonna need to be able to pull that straight to line it up with this. All right, so let's put this back together. That notch there. And then we're going to line up these two edges so that they are aligned with each other like that. Oops, I did not do a good job pinning that center. Let's do that again. There we go. Now I want to pull this, so now you can see why having that stretch just a little bit is so helpful. So we want to pull. A lot of people skip curves because they think they are hard, but they're really not. As long as you do a good job pinning, you can do it. Also, I was told once by a person when I was like, ooh, I'm a little nervous about curves. Her response was, you started out sewing garments. If you can sew a sleeve, you can sew a curve. And I was like, you're not wrong. Putting in a sleeve was way harder than this, and it was basically the same process, but then you had to make it where it would fit your arm. And if it's struggling to line up, just add a few more little pins. Some people do some glue basting to hold all of that in place. That's up to you. And I'm leaving all of this in because I want you to see that it's okay if you struggle a little bit getting it all to line up. If you've got it, fast forward to the next part. Okay, so now our next step will be to stitch our 1/4 inch line all the way around. All right, we're gonna do that with all 4 of our pieces. All right, so we are now going to sew our 2 pieces together. And the hardest part is getting this started and making sure this stays straight here. So that is probably why glue basting is so popular, because if you have glue, then it doesn't matter if your pin moves. So I have put a little dab of glue in this corner. I used this Acorn piecing glue, but you can also use like the sticks that are used for, you could use a glue stick, you could use a regular glue stick, you could use Elmer's glue. But that will help keep that first piece there so it doesn't move on you. All right. I'm also going to reduce my stitch length to 2.1. And then we are just going to sew around, easing the top part with the bottom part. You want to be careful that you don't create any wrinkles here, because creating wrinkles will end up putting a wrinkle in your final project. Another good thing about glue basting is you won't have to stop every 2 seconds to unpin. All right, so that is what it looks like. I'm going to press it and then I will bring it over and then I will show you all the unique ways you can put them together. All right, so I have finished all 4 of my little units and now I'm going to press them. Typically your pattern will tell you which way to press your unit. This one I'm going to press towards the lighter color. I'm going to press it out. So I've just kind of finger pressed it because you don't want to push too hard because that could push your circle out of alignment and you don't want a wonky circle. And then I'm just going to lay my iron down on top just to give it a nice press. So that is how it looks if you press towards the outer squared piece. But this is pressed towards the lighter. And then I'm also going to do one towards the darker pink. So this time I'm pushing all of my seams towards that darker, towards the actual little quarter circle instead of the border around it. And again, I'm just going to just gently press. Now I do have a couple of little things going on here. I think in general it's easier to press out than it is to press in, but your pattern may ask you to occasionally press in because you may need to like nest some seams, because if I wanted to then put these together like this, having these nested will help line up those circle pieces like that. So just do what the pattern says to do. I'm going to press the rest of these out. All right, so all of my blocks have been pressed and I've pressed them all towards the lighter color. Now, the fun thing about the Drunkard's Path, and the reason I think it's called the Drunkard's Path, is because when you put the blocks together, it creates these like winding little rivers of background fabric. Now, this Drunkard's Path in particular, it has smaller circles than background. Some of them come all the way up here with your circles so that your circles actually will align with each other a little bit more. But I want to show you a few options. So this is one option. So you end up with this kind of diamond shape in the center. You could turn 2 of them towards the center and get something like this. You could turn all of them towards the center and make a circle. If you decide to do that, I would definitely press 2 of them in the opposite direction so you can align your circle better. You can make them all go in the same direction so they look like this. You could put 2 this way so that it looks like a little sunrise, like that. The possibilities for this block are endless. You can do this, so it creates like this little curvy path, and then if you made more, then it would connect and you would create this little curvy path going across your quilt, which is a really fun thing to do. I think it'd be really cool if these were scrappy and you had a scrappy kind of path curving across your quilt. So then you can also have your path like this where it's making kind of an S shape. So it's not continuing the path all the way across, but it's making an interesting shape. You can turn them like this. There we go, turning that one. There you go, so you have sort of a pinwheel going around. I think I like that one the best so far. especially for just one block. If I was doing multiple blocks, I would play with some of the others a little bit more, but with just one block, I might like this one the best. My favorite, and the one I think that I am going to go with, is the pinwheel option. I kind of like how that looks. So that is how I'm going to put mine together. So have fun with your Drunkard's Path. Play with your 4 blocks a little bit. See what you can make. All right, so here is the finished block. I sewed it so that this was kind of a pinwheel, and it finishes at 8.5 by 8.5 if you use the templates. So there are templates that you can download. They are linked below in the description. Just sign up for my newsletter to get the templates, and you will be able to make your own Drunkard's Path block. I hope you have a lot of fun experimenting and practicing with curves. Remember, they are just a little bit harder, but you can do this. Now, go make something beautiful.